What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Hope you all had a great weekend. Getting into this episode of GH. This whole fucking episode was amazing. I was here for this entire episode. Every scene in this episode today, I was paying very close attention to. I didn't have to skip a scene. I didn't have to none of that. It was a dope episode. I enjoyed it. The therapy session. Let me say this. When I first heard Curtis was doing this whole therapy thing with Jordan and Stella, I thought it was going to be a joke. Like, honestly, I was not looking forward to it at first, but when I watched it, the actors knocked it the fuck out the park. The actors killed this entire scene. The therapy scene today, I think, besides the Ava scene, I think the therapy was the best scene of this episode for me. For me, it was the therapy scene. That and the Ava scene with Griffin, best scenes of the episode. That therapy session was so powerful in so many ways. Like, you really had to watch it to understand it and to get really into it and see how deep it got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I loved it from beginning to fucking end. Like, I loved how the therapist just sat there and let them get it all out. Curtis basically tried to play referee. He tried to get them to stop. The therapist was like, hell no, let them keep going. I said the same thing. That's what therapy is for. You know what I'm saying? It's for the therapist to help them, but also by helping them means sitting back and just letting them get it all out. If that means they got to throw insults at each other, it is what it is. That's how they're getting it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to do this. And I'm glad that they did this therapy session because everything needed to be said. Jordan let out her frustrations. Stella let out her frustrations. What pissed me off about Stella was when Stella first got into the therapy office, already she was acting hostile. She didn't want to be there because she felt like the whole session was going to be them ganging up on her, making her to be the bad guy, which is not true. You know what I'm saying? That's not true because, like, everybody in that room, minus the therapist, have flaws. Even though I'm sure the therapist has flaws too, but it's not about her. They all have their flaws. But the main cause of tension between them right now is Stella and her attitude. That's the primary reason they're fucking in therapy. Because she refuses to accept this relationship. Another thing that annoyed me about her was even when Jordan was giving her compliments, Jordan was talking shit, but she was giving her compliments too. Every positive thing Jordan said about Stella, Stella took everything and twisted it and turned it into something negative. I can't stand people like that. It's like, even when you're giving somebody their props and you're being positive, they find any little way to be negative. I can't see people like that. I just feel like you can't win with them. You can never win them over because if they're always going to find negativity in something positive, that's the type of people I don't want to be around. I don't want to be around you if you're always going to find something negative and something positive. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad sign of a person. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's a person that needs extensive therapy, and that's the type of person or type of people I choose not to be around. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it because she was just so negative. Any positive thing somebody had to say, including the therapist, she was negative about it. I'm like, damn, can you say something positive? Then she keeps talking about all these sacrifices she made and how Jordan don't know how to sacrifice. Jordan clearly said the reason she sent TJ to stay with Sean was because she was working for the DEA and she was undercover in a dangerous assignment. Now, I do somewhat agree with Aunt Stella when she said, why didn't you send him to family? I get it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of believe that she should have sent him to Stella or Curtis or whatever. She should have. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his family. But she came up with the excuse saying that, oh, but Sean is his father. I agree with Stella on that one. Sean didn't even know that was his child, and TJ didn't even know Sean was his father until years later. Until like a few years later. You know what I'm saying? So that excuse, that doesn't fly with me. That I will agree with Stella on. Like, she definitely should have sent him to stay with Aunt Stella. I'm just saying. But the thing about Stella is it's like you have to let this go. You know what I'm saying? I've said this before. Stella has a right to be upset with Jordan. She definitely does. But all of that was like 20 years ago. Eventually they stopped beating on Rodney King. It's like, damn, let it go. I mean, you ain't got to forget what happened, but you do have to forgive. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to forgive Jordan to please her or please Curtis. Forgive her for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you holding in all this anger and shit. Other people are sleeping good at night. I'm just saying. While they're sleeping good at night, you're holding on to that anger and it's eating your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Every time she sees Jordan, she's hostile, she's upset, she has an attitude. What good is that doing for you? You know what I mean? Like, what good is it doing for you? I'm just saying. Like, you need to let that go. The past is the past. Let me tell you something. Everything we did yesterday is officially the past. Whatever you did wrong yesterday, today is a new day to start fresh and make it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, today is a new day. I don't think about yesterday. I don't think about all of that stuff. You know, as far as wanting to change anything in the past, I don't think about that because I can't change nothing. What I did yesterday, what I did 2 days ago, I can't change a damn thing. I can't. All I can do is make what I did wrong yesterday, make it right today. That's all I can do. You know what I'm saying? That's all anybody can do. We can't go back to yesterday. We can't go back to last week. We can't go back to 1997. We can't go back to all that time. As much as a lot of us would love to go back in time, we can't. You have to be here today. Today matters. Tomorrow don't matter. Yesterday don't matter. Today matters. You know what I'm saying? I'll worry about tomorrow, God willing. If I wake up tomorrow, I'll worry about tomorrow. That's when I'll worry about that. I have to worry about today, the present, the here, the now. You know what I'm saying? That's what Stella needs to worry about. You need to let that shit go. Let it go. It's like, what is it doing for you? That therapy, it was so damn powerful. So powerful. I enjoyed every second of it. Because you know what? Everything both of them said needed to be said. And I kind of feel bad for Curtis because I agree with the therapist. Being in the middle of both of them arguing back and forth every time they see each other, it's draining. Emotionally, it's fucking draining. You know what I'm saying? I would be exhausted dealing with that shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wouldn't be? I would be tired of shit. I'd probably be like, you know what? I don't even want to get married. I don't even want to be your nephew no more. I'm going to Zimbabwe somewhere, take me a vacation. Y'all can do what y'all want to do. You know? Like, that's just me. Like, I can't deal with that shit. That shit is emotionally draining to be stuck in the middle of two combative people. That's the worst, one of the worst places to be. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's the worst. I would never want to be in the middle of that shit. That's too much. Emotionally, it's taxing on you. I felt bad for Curtis. I'm like, damn, he in the middle of this shit. Like, even the therapist was like, I know it's emotionally, draining for you to be in the middle of this shit. And I bet you it is too. But, I am happy that they made some leeway in this therapy session. But I do agree with the therapist, and I definitely agree with Curtis. You can't fix all your problems in one day, in one therapy session. You can't. Because these are years and years of problems that need time to heal. You can't fix all of this in one therapy session, and you're not going to. I am happy that Aunt Stella is thinking about doing it again. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that she's decided to at least take it into consideration to do it again. I would have been pissed if she, at first she didn't want to do it again. I was getting mad because she was basically just saying, oh, I'm not going to fix this family. I'm not going to heal this family. And it pissed me off a little bit, but I'll take it where I can get it. I'm just happy that she's considering doing it again because I think that it can be a healing process for all of them. They need it. You know what I mean? They all need it. Anyway, moving on from that, Ava and Griffin. This scene, you want to talk about draining. Griffin is such a judgmental, hypocritical jackass. Like, he really is. I seen Griffin in a light today that I just didn't like. I was like, really, Griffin? And Griffin was one of my favorite new characters, too. Oh, I still like the Griffin character, don't get me wrong. And Matt Cohen is definitely knocking this shit out the park. I actually feel bad for Matt Cohen, the actor who plays Griffin, because I don't know if you all know this, but some woman, I think her name is Monique something, she went on Twitter or social media and she accused Matt Cohen and Billy Miller of drugging her and taking advantage of her. I said, what? Matt Cohen just went on Twitter and he was like, you can't believe everything that you read or everything you hear. And apparently, this woman allegedly works at the studio that they filmed General Hospital at. She allegedly works there. I'm not going to say I believe it. I'm not going to say I don't believe it because that's not for me to decide. But he did say that the authorities and whoever, they got the information, they're handling it. I wish the best for the actors. I wish the best for that woman. Like I said, I don't believe accusations. I believe facts. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't go off accusations. Show me proof and I'll believe you. She hasn't shown any proof. She just accused. So I can't say that they're guilty. So anyway, yeah, Griffin was so judgmental of Ava. He's been judgmental of her ever since they started dating. I'm just saying. Now he basically tried to blackmail her and tell her if she hurts somebody else or she does something illegal, he's going to tell Sonny that she basically helped put Carly in Ferncliff. So he basically tried to blackmail her into living a morally good life, basically. Upstanding, law-abiding life. Ava didn't give a fuck. She didn't care about that threat. Ava really didn't give a flying fuck. And what was so funny to me was he tried to twist everything around on her. He tried to tell her that she was using him to see what it was like to live a life with a soul. I said, wow, he really tried to twist that on her. I'm like, first of all, you used her. I agree with Ava. I was team Ava all this episode because I agree with her. I felt like he used her to do what he wanted to do, to live a life where you didn't have to have morals, like a moral compass and stuff like that, where he could just be free from the priesthood and all that. That's the life. I feel like he used her for that. You know what I'm saying? He used her for that. Ava, it's like that whole living life like Mrs. Doubtfire, that whole domesticated life, that was never Ava. In my opinion, I don't feel like Ava used him. I feel like she was doing all those good things when she was with him because she genuinely wanted to change for him. And I said this in the past. That was her first mistake. You don't change yourself for nobody. You know what I'm saying? You change because you want to change. You don't do it for nobody, especially no dude. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for men. Don't change yourself for no woman. You know what I'm saying? Change yourself for you if that's what you want to do. If you feel like you're an evil person and you're always going to be an evil person, be evil. You know what I'm saying? At least live in your truth. Don't sit there and put up no facade for somebody else. Don't do it because it ain't going to work. It's going to backfire. Look at Ava. It backfired. She knew she wasn't going to be able to live that life. That Mrs. Doubtfire, dutiful lifestyle. She knew she wasn't gonna live that cookie cutter shit. She know that shit wasn't her because she wasn't raised that way. She didn't grow up that way. So a person like Ava cannot change in a day. They can't even change in a few months, especially when you went 30, 40 years being the way you are. It's hard to change all of that. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna change all that overnight. Definitely not. And I feel like that's the reason Griffin was still judgmental and hypocritical. Because that's the way he's been ever since he was a priest. He's always been judgmental. So you're not going to change how you are overnight. That's just what it is. But I do feel like Griffin stuck his foot in his mouth yet again when he basically tried to blackmail her and called her a monster. Well, he didn't call her a monster, but she felt like that's basically what he was calling her, a monster. So she basically told Griffin, I'm going to show you a real monster. I said, oh, shit. See, every time he confronts Ava about something, you're going to see the bitch come out of her. Because you really thought those DNA results was the only way she was going to get back at you? Nope, she's going to find another way. And she basically confirmed that today. She going to get him. She going to get revenge, and that's how she is. She's vengeful. Ava's just living her truth. What did piss me off about Ava, though, was that she told Griffin the reason she even tried to blame Julian for the blanket. She tried to throw Julian under the bus when her ass was the one who asked him to put the blanket back. I said, this bitch ain't got no scruples at all. Like, this bitch she just don't care, like. But, she pissed me off a little bit when she, not in a bad way, but she pissed me off in a funny way. Because she was like, oh, I had the blanket returned so I could have Carly vindicated. I was like, bitch, stop lying. You had Julian return that blanket so you could save your ass. That's the whole reason you went to go visit Nell when she was in the hospital, to save your ass, and you went to go visit Michael at the Quartermains to save your ass. And you had Julian put that blanket back to yet again save your ass. It ain't had nothing to do with helping Carly. You don't give a shit about her. That shit was funny as fuck. I was like, Ava, you don't care nothing about Carly, so you can stop that line. That was a good scene. I thoroughly enjoyed that shit. That shit was funny. So anyway, I also like the Christina and Sam scene. Because you know what? Sam is really the only person Christina can confide in the way that she does. You know what I'm saying? Because Sam listens to her. She gives her good feedback, great advice. She talks to Sam in a way I think she feels like she can't talk to Alexis. Or Molly for that matter. Or even Sonny for that matter. You know what I'm saying? She just could talk to Sam. Because Sam is more relatable to her. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. You know, at least she can talk to somebody. You know, because some people don't have nobody that they can really confide in, and they bottle all that stuff up. You know, she doesn't do that, though. I'm glad she can talk to Sam about it. So, she basically, I feel like with Christina, she basically feels like her life is purposeless. Like, she has no purpose. You know what I mean? She don't have no friends in Oregon. She don't have no family there. She's, you know, career-wise, she's on the fence. So, her life is kind of like in a free-for-all. And she's trying to figure her life out. But I'm happy that, you know, Sam decided to go with her to Oregon to help her break the news to Parker that she's moving back to Port Charles. I'm glad Sam is going to be there for that support. That's that sibling relationship that I just love. You know what I mean? Because I think more siblings need to be like that. You know, have each other's back. So anyway, moving on from that. This whole Mike situation, you know what pissed me off when I read some comments, not up here, but on some boards and stuff. People said that they gave Mike a tracker like he's some type of dog or something. I think it was a good idea to give him a tracker because it's smart. He has Alzheimer's. He can forget things. What if he leaves the premises? That way his monitor can beep and it would alert Sonny and them that he's off the grounds. You know what I'm saying? It's a smart thing. But I do agree with Jason and Carly. There's going to be some adjustments that need to be made at the mansion if Mike is going to continue to stay there. They're going to have to make adjustments. You know, I feel bad for Mike because he feels like he's a burden on Sonny, which is not true. You know, Sonny's just trying to figure out how to handle all of this because this is all new to Sonny. Sonny never had to deal with somebody with Alzheimer's before, so it's new. You know what I mean? I feel like with more education and stuff like that, I feel like Sonny can learn to handle it better, you know, if he educates himself better on it. That's why you got people like Aunt Stella and all them to help you, you know, to give you that advice on what to do and how to handle Mike when he's in his moods and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be an adjustment for everybody, you know, and Sonny just has to figure out how to deal with it. But, I think he's going to come to the right decision. You know, whether he decides to put him in a facility or not, you know, you just got to do what's best for Mike and you have to do what's best for you, you know, and your family. That's pretty much what all he can do. Make the best decision for everybody involved. That's the best thing you can do. D.A. Dawson. She's playing a dangerous game. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like, she really is. That whole flash drive that she had, apparently it was only contained family photos of her, I guess, when she was a child with her mother or whatever. I'm like, why was she so defensive about that flash drive, though? She was real defensive about it. Oh, don't touch that. Then she told Drew, because Drew was like, basically, how come you lied about it being a case and stuff? She talking about, oh, because it's none of your business. This is what pisses me off about the DA. She could ask Drew a million questions and she expects him to answer it. Never once did he say, really, it's none of your business. But whenever he asks her questions, she gets defensive. She puts up a wall. She tells him, oh, it's none of your business. If I was Drew, I'd be telling that bitch the same thing. It's none of your business. Like, how is it fair that you can ask him a billion questions, but he can't ask you shit? That's why Drew's suspicious of her, because she's way too defensive about everything. Like anything he asks her, she's way too defensive. And she still got that flash drive with his memories on it. I don't know, like, what is she looking for on that flash drive? Like, is she gonna try to? I don't know if she's gonna try to blackmail him with it, because I think she would have done that by now, especially when he confronted her. But this chick is playing a game that she cannot afford to play. I'm just saying, like, she's gonna lose in the long run. D.A. Dawson is definitely gonna lose this game. This little stupid ass game that she playing, it ain't gonna work. But anyway, this was a great episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what y'all thought about it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.